Welcome back to Taking Action for America. My name is Oliver Sharp. I'm joined now by Erin Lawless, the program manager of Gulf Coast Operations at Rebuilding Together. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
And how exactly do Rebuilding Together get involved in the Gulf Coast?
Gulf Coast Operations was started back in 2005 in response to Hurricanes Rita and Katrina that hit. And we started a program called Rebuild 1000 with the goal to rebuild 1,000 homes across the Gulf Coast from southeast Texas across to Mississippi. And we've depended on volunteers to come from all over the country to help out rebuilding homes. And we've currently rebuilt 576 homes using more than 15,000 volunteers, more than 300,000 volunteer hours. So it's been quite an effort and a partnership between our Gulf Coast affiliates and the national office to make that happen.
That's amazing, and I understand. Are things continuing down there? Is there still a lot of work to be done?
Yes, there's still a lot of work to be done. We organize Rebuild 1000 work weeks every year. This year we have 10 national work weeks where we recruit volunteers to come, and it's still going on. If people want to learn about those work weeks and how to get involved, they can go to our national website, rebuildingtogether.org, and learn more about that and sign up to donate a week of their time.
Excellent. You mentioned a staggering number of volunteers and skilled laborers involved there, but not only there and across the country. How do you actually mobilize this? It's a veritable army of skilled laborers. How do you get those people to come out and donate their time and their skills?
Well, the skilled laborer piece with Rebuilding Together is crucial to our success. The skilled labor that we depend on actually are providing services for our homeowners that they wouldn't otherwise have. Right. And that's the beautiful thing about the trade associations and unions that we have involved. So we have great relationships at the national level with organizations like National Roofing Contractors Association, National Association of the Remodeling Industry, National Association of Home Builders, all of those folks at the national level. And then our affiliates do an amazing job of connecting into their local chapters and affiliates as well. So it's quite an overlap between their chapters as well as our affiliates around the country.
So it's amazing how many skilled laborers will come out and donate their time. Maybe they don't have money to donate, but they do have time and they do have skills that otherwise people really won't have access to.
Exactly. It makes a huge difference.
And I understand that you were out on National Rebuilding Day this past weekend. Where were you?
I was in Washington, D.C. I was lucky enough to be volunteering at Mr. Brown's home in Southeast Washington, D.C. And Mr. Brown is a veteran of World War II, and he's been in his home for about 50 years. And we had about 10 volunteers that were Hill staffers that came and worked with us from the national office and, of course, the Washington, D.C. affiliate, which did an amazing job at setting up the project. And we had a great time. We got a lot of work done, so Mr. Brown was very happy.
He's a great guy. Let's go right now to Mr. Brown's house. This is National Rebuilding Day this past weekend in Washington, D.C.
I'm Janice Stango, the Executive Director of Rebuilding Together of Washington, D.C. This is our 26th year of operation. We are doing 60 homes today on National Rebuilding Day.
My name is Joseph Brown. I've been living in this house about 51 years. I was in World War II with the 3rd Armored Division, which was commanded by General Patton.
We are helping Mr. Brown out with a couple of things. We're putting some exterior paint on the outside of his house. We're also prepping to replace the windows, pulling out old carpeting. We're doing some interior painting and a couple of smaller tasks inside the house. We have a dozen volunteers today. A number of them are from the Rebuilding Together National Office on Veteran Affairs, which is kind of nice since he's a veteran. Also, we've got a number of congressional staffers. So a lot of these folks here actually work on legislation impacting veterans, and this is great. We actually get them out in the field and seeing the impact in somebody's life.
I think this is great. I mean, this is a real opportunity for neighbors to help neighbors and for communities to come together and support our wounded soldiers as well as our older veterans who need to be assisted and who still deserve our respect.
Rebuilding Together is a life-changing charity. We don't just fix the walls that need a coat of paint. We make the homes safe, and that allows them to live a healthier life in their elder years as they age in place.
It's really great helping the older people and veterans and whatnot. It's great. It's really great, and I appreciate it.
This is Vern Yip from HGTV. Just wanted to congratulate Rebuilding Together on the 21st National Rebuilding Day. Rebuilding Together serves the elderly, disabled, families with children, victims of the Gulf Coast hurricanes, and our military men and women. Way to go, Rebuilding Together. Keep up the good work.